Hello, my name's Tamsin, and today on Gorilla Spinning, we're going to play with No Fleece Left Behind. Now, when you buy fleeces, when you purchase, the expectation is you're going to get something like this. This is a beautiful lock. All I've done to it is I've washed it. I haven't picked it or combed it or anything else. This one here is a beautiful blue-faced Leicester. And again, all I've done is washed it. I haven't picked it or combed it or anything. The problem being, for these fleeces, you're going to pay a lot of money. Now maybe the budget says you can't afford that, but down the street is a so-called meat sheep breeder, which are generally down breeds, make perfectly lovely fleeces. And often you can get those fleeces for free. The problem is, this is what they look like. Again, this hasn't been picked or carded or combed, it's just been washed. But I'm telling you, you can take this train wreck of a fleece and you can make it look like this. Beautiful, fluffy, clean, a very usable fleece. I'm going to show you my techniques to do it. If you don't have the budget for the really nice fleeces that you want, this is a perfectly doable way of getting fleece that looks like this to look like this. And you can work straight from this. You don't need to do anything further with it. You can spin from that, you can felt with it, you can dye it, whatever. So while this may be a little time consuming, in the end you will have a usable fleece. So let's get started. So what you're going to need is your hand cards, or if that hasn't worked its way into the budget yet, a set of dog combs, but you want the slicker brush with the metal tines. The metal tines are very important. Now the dog brushes aren't going to be quite as strong as a set of hand cards, but they'll work. So you only need one. Set the other one aside and do this somewhere that you don't care if it gets dirty. I'm in my basement lair where I do all my work because, you know, it's out of the way and it doesn't matter if it gets dirty. So what you want to do is grab a lock of this grungy fleece. Now look how bad this is. It's just unreal, the veggie matter in here. So wrap the end around your finger, pinch it. Now watch your fingers. You will bleed. I have on occasion. I still do on occasion. You can pick out any of the big bits if you want. Doesn't really matter. Just kind of, instead of tapping a comb on your fleece, you're going to tap the fleece on your comb. Flip it over. Tap, 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 tap. Now you want more tapping motion so it opens it up. Look at all the guck that's going into the card and out of the fleece. Now once you have it all opened up nicely like that, then you can comb it straight through and that'll get out the remainder of that stuff. Now turn it around to do the other side. Wrap it, twist it. If you can, if it's long enough, get it wrapped around your finger. If it's not, just pinch it. Do the same thing. Tap, 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 tap. Just keep rotating it so you're getting all of it open. Still a little oil in there, so we'll just kind of work that out. Okay, go to a clean part of your card. Give it one more brush. And then look what you have. There is nothing left in that. It is a fluffy, delightful, very soft fleece. Now see, there's just a little bit left, so just wrap it again. Give it another quick combing. Now, you're going to lose a fair bit of your fleece, but if it's a free fleece, who cares? You've gone from this to this just by combing. Now, the trick here is don't pick your fleece before you start, because by picking it, what you do is you open up those locks and then you can't comb it anymore. Okay, so this is picking. So now we've opened it all up, but when we try to comb it, the fibers are now all over the place, and all you're going to do is just lose them in your comb, and you end up with much less fiber. So instead of picking, just take a lock. Here's the fleece. Just take a lock straight from the fleece, pull it off. Then go to your comb, tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Turn again. And as you do this, it opens it up and it lets all that debris fall out. Now, I've tried putting this through a drum carder, I've tried hand carding it. Every method I have tried, all it does is it moves the debris deeper into the fiber, and then you can never get it out. As for combing, it's sort of borderline long enough to comb. But again, it can be very tricky and it can be hard to do. This is easy, quick, and it will work on any length of fleece. And in the end, you've got this wonderful, soft, fluffy, clean fiber. I'm telling you, this works fantastic. No fleece left behind. So after some work with my hand cards, here's what the fleece looked like before. And here is what I get out of it. Beautiful, soft, fluffy, clean fiber. You can spin right from this into a cloud. Just hold it in your hand and draft right off it. Or you could further process it. Put it through a drum carder, hand card it into roll eggs. Use it for felting, dye it, whatever you want to do. The point being, you now have usable fleece from this train wreck. Use your imagination. There's ways to save everything. No fleece left behind. Now, the other thing this method is good for, this is my favorite fleece in the entire world. This is Blue-Faced Leicester. I love this fleece. It's got the length, it's got the crimp, it's got the softness, the silkiness. There's nothing about this I don't love, except when it comes to carding it or combing it. I like to comb it because it's nice and long, and it gives you can diz off your own roving and make beautiful yarns. But the problem is, you can see how tightly curled up it is. When you try to comb that, all you end up doing is just tearing it. So what I do is I use my clean the fleece technique, wrap it around my finger, and tap, 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 tap. What happens is gradually it opens up those tight little curls without all the work of the combing. Now what I do as I'm working is I keep track of which end is tip and which end is tail, so I can do a true worsted yarn. This does require a little more combing than tapping because of how tight the curls are. But you can see that the fiber is opening up lovely. You're getting those tight curls opening up, and you're getting this beautiful silky cloud. Now the cut end is usually easier to open because the curls aren't as tight on that end. So tap, 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 tap. It requires a little patience, and it comes down to how much work are you willing to do. You can throw this through your drum carder, but because it's so fine and it's so amazingly beautiful, what ends up happening is it just makes noise instead of combing, which, if that's what you're looking for, is perfectly fine. Sometimes you kind of have to help it by just sort of picking open the ends a little bit. And then, after I have it all combed out, or I should say carded out, not combed, I just set it to one side in stacks. So I know this is the tip, this is the tail. I put it all in a stack the same way, and then I load it on my combs just so I can diz it off as a roving. So once it's loaded on the combs, I do one pass back and forth and then diz off. But look at how beautiful this fiber is. I wish there was field of vision because this stuff is so silky and so amazing. And BFL is like my favorite thing ever. If you've never tried it, give it a go. It's got the best qualities of a fine merino combined with the length and the shine of a long wool sheep. And this isn't only next to the skin. I would make underwear out of this. It's that soft. Just my favorite thing in the whole world. So as you can see, not only does this work on short fibers, It works on long fibers, and it doesn't only have to be for cleaning. You can use it for any number of issues. So here's another fleece. This is a Romney from a sheep named Anna, and I get this fleece from a local shepherdess named Val. Hi, Val. She raises very happy sheep with very beautiful fleeces. But as you can see, they are an animal. The tips are a bit dirty. This technique will also help with that. So just pull off a lock, wrap it around your finger, and tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. You can put on some good music or podcasts. I usually listen to podcasts as I'm working. I like Thinking Sideways is really good. They have some interesting stuff. If you like stories, there's the Black Tapes. That was really good. Kind of creepy, kind of spooky. I loved it. Or put on your favorite music and just go along with the music. So you can see now the tips are all fluffed out and lovely. So flip it around. Do the cut end. A little oil in there to get out. And give it a comb. And give it a comb. So you can see there's a little bit of fuzz left in there. Like no debris. So even clean, beautiful fleeces can benefit from going through this process. I then take this and I'll run it through my drum carder to make some beautiful bats or spin right from it the way it is. It doesn't matter if it's a clean or a dirty fleece. If you want perfection, which is what I'm constantly striving for. I love fiber that is so clean you swear it's been commercially processed. But I don't use chemicals to dissolve all that little veggie matter. I get it out manually. For me, that's the way I like to do things. Some people prefer just to buy their fiber already processed, and that's fine. I've done that too. But to me, this is the joy. The taking the fleece and turning it into this usable, fluffy fiber that's just a joy to work with and spin. It's so much more alive than anything you can buy commercially. You should try it sometime. You might find you enjoy it. So thanks for joining me today. This is how you rescue or process any fleece, so that way you never have to leave a fleece behind. You can find me on Facebook at Tamsin Juby BF Fiber Arts, and you can like my pictures there. If you're a gorilla spinner, maybe you have some tips you'd like to share with us. Feel free to join the discussion. Thanks. Have a good day.